Hello and welcome back to our daily blog. As you can see from the decor, we've had a birthday in the house. We now officially have a teenager, so lots of teenage tantrums to look forward to. But back to the daily blog, and we're looking at prayer, and today we're looking at prayers in the Bible. Now there's approximately 650 prayers in the Bible, so unfortunately not time to go through all of them, but I would encourage you to go through and see if you can find them all. Maybe even comment on some of your favourite ones in the comment section. But we'll start with the most famous of all the prayers in the Bible, the Lord's Prayer. Now we've been very lucky over the summer to look at the Lord's Prayer in detail. We've looked at it line by line, which is really good because we can say it and not really think about what we're saying. Because we pray this prayer every day, it becomes almost second nature, like breathing, and we don't have to think about that. But if we stop and think about what we're actually saying, it really means so much more. When we were looking at each individual line, I was actually lucky enough to preach on the line, "Give us today our daily bread." Now, I'd always thought of it as more representative of our basic daily needs and the sort of spiritual nourishment that we get from God. But of course, when I looked into it, bread itself, basic bread, is so important. Right the way back in the Old Testament, God gave manna from heaven, right the way up to Jesus feeding the 5,000. But if we take the Lord's Prayer as a whole, how can we think about each line as we say it? I first thought about each line when I learnt how to do the Lord's Prayer in Makaton. So thank you to Kaz and the youth group for teaching me how to do this. And we looked at this when we did the Brunel weekend in 2018. So I'm going to do it now for you and see if you can try it at home and see if it helps you to think about each of the lines as you do it. So I'll do it a little bit slower. Okay, so, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now, when you're thinking about where your hands need to be, you're also thinking about each of the words and what they all mean. So give it a go and see how you feel about it. But of course, there's lots of other prayers in the Bible. If we look at the entire book of Psalms, each psalm is a prayer, whether they be the psalms of praise or the psalms of lament. Because when we pray, we don't just pray because we want something, because we're angry about something, because we're sad about something. We also want to pray because we're joyous about something, because we want to share our day with God. So when David is extolling music and dancing and musical instruments, he's happy because he's thanking God for music, for the joy of music. But then he's also ranting at God for when he's in a bad place. And we can all do this. We can look at the Psalms as a great as a great way to sort of inspire us in our prayer life. But there are prayers in lots of other areas of the Bible too. Think of the sermon series we've had on prayers. A couple of weeks ago, Howard spoke to us about Hezekiah's prayer, when Hezekiah prayed to God for 15 more years of life. We've also looked at prayers where people are asking God for things. And of course, we have many prayers given to us in the writings of St. Paul. So lots and lots of food for thought in the prayers of the Bible. So have a look and maybe also let us know some of your favourite psalms. And I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.